Konnichiwa. Hope you are Genki Des. Hope you are well. Good evening, welcome to Tuesday evening, and welcome to the new hair. Check this out. I have never been so excited in my life to go to a hairdresser's. I don't normally actually enjoy the experience, but this evening I did, and it's very nice to slim down again, because people started to call me Shaggy, which I didn't really appreciate, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, haircut's good, and I hope you're all well. I'll give you a quick update in a second around the dojos. Please don't hold your breath. And this evening we're going to continue with Ju-Ippon Kumite. So we did set 1 on Thursday. Tonight we're going to recap on set 1 and do set 2. Thursday we will do set 2 and 3. So we'll finish Ju-Ippon over these 3 nights. And then next week we are going to do Kankudai. Kankudai in our own dojos, which is going to be interesting, to be perfectly honest. But I think it will be really good fun for the higher grades in particular to practice it, because they may not have been able to do it for a while, but for the junior grades to have a go, because it's full of all the basic moves that you already know from all the other katas, which is really, really good. So tonight, Ju-Ippon Kumite recap of set 1, set 2, and then Thursday set 2 and 3, and then next week Kankudai is the plan. Kankudai in my kitchen will be interesting. So I'll just let a couple more people join, and I'll say my greetings as normal to the people that are online. And I've already spotted some really cool people to say hello to. Eva, hello Italy. So yeah, we'll get started in a second with Ju-Ippon Kumite. Do a very quick warm up, do some punches to just warm the arms up, get the body moving again. I think we might be joined by Holly this evening. She's in the kitchen with me. Well, she's just outside at the moment. And of course I've left Alexa on because she seems to be the star of the show. If you were here on Thursday, then hi Eva. She will no doubt make an appearance because Alexa just loves karate, which is really, really strange to be saying. So let's say her quick few hellos. Good evening. Oh, it's nice to see so many people. Good evening, Tim. Good evening, Ken. Good evening, Ashley. Good evening, Kitty. I have to say, our youngest member of the dojo, lovely little Esme Dickerson. I went to see her on Sunday, and she is adorable, as you'd kind of expect, because she's Wayne and Ashley's daughter. But yeah, she's absolutely beautiful. About this big, she's bald like her dad, and she's the same height, which is really odd. But anyway, we hopefully will welcome her to the dojo at some point. We did all that with social distancing at the end of the driveway, but it was just lovely, lovely to see her. And our newest member, who's only a few weeks old. Okay, right, good evening Ewan, good evening Harry. Yes Tim, we're all very well, thank you, we're all okay. I'm definitely okay now because I had a haircut. Good evening Kayla, Sensei Andy, good evening. Good evening Alex, and it maybe Lee's with you as well. Good evening Eva again, good evening everybody else. Thomas, Sammy Doo, how you doing? Good to see you. And Betsy and Michaela, good evening. She's fast asleep. Excellent. And Wayne and Esme should go close. I think that's probably a true point. Hilarious. Okay, so we'll just do a little bit of a warm up, get going, and then we'll do Ju-Ippon Kumite this evening. With my intention of this being roughly around an hour's lesson as per normal. Okay, so right. Okay, so just shoulders, just nice and relaxed. Remember, Ju-Ippon Kumite, we are using lots of tai sabaki, so body movements, and we need to relax the body. Okay, just the arms forwards and backwards. Good evening, Sensei Sharon. Hope you're well. Oh, waving and doing this is not good. Okay, so remember the whole evening I want you to focus on this area. Okay, your ishiki, paying attention to your shoulders, not your shoulders coming up and down. And I'll explain why more in a moment. I touched on it on Thursday, but I'll explain more. Okay, arms forwards. I'm not bringing my shoulders up, I'm just relaxing the joints and enabling my arms to swing. Okay, backwards. So I'm not bringing them up. Okay, left arm forwards, right arm back. And change, right arm forwards, left arm back. Okay, just stretching. Again, letting your shoulders relax. Aha, the dog wants to come in, excuse me. Release in. Good girl. Hello. It's become quite the norm now to have interruptions from the dog and Alexa and anybody else that wants to join us. Okay, right arm across, stretching, and then pulling down. Okay, left arm across, stretching, and pulling down. Okay, to Kubi, your wrists, just relaxing your wrists even. Hiji, your elbows, and your wrists. So learn to control your body and your shoulders, kata. So kata, hiji, to Kubi. It's probably going to look really silly on camera, that is. Yeah, it looks like I'm having some sort of fit. Holly. She's not happy because I just carried her out the door. Okay, so arms I think are done, okay. So hips, just shaking. Ishi, sanchi, bo, ro, shish, hach, ko, and ju. And a little bit more. Okay, so just rotating the arms around, relax those shoulders, relax those arms. Remember, I do a very brief warm-up in my lessons now because I like you to do it at home, so before you get ready. I started at 1:45 this evening, just getting myself nice and relaxed and stretched. Okay, just bringing your right leg up, okay, and just flicking the foot out. Ish, ni, san, shi, and go. Okay, just touching lightly on the floor, so bouncing. Not really a manigiri, but just bouncing. Ish, ni, san, shi, go. Okay, shake the legs. Okay, arms up to the top, stretching over to your left. And over to the right, and behind, and forwards, hands to the floor. Okay, Zenkutsudachi, front stance. Okay, hips, shomen. Shomen means front, okay. Half facing, hammy. Shomen, hammy. Shomen, hammy. Shomen, hammy. Okay, and here, your knees shouldn't move too much. It will a little bit, but not too much. It's your hip that moves. Your shoulders don't need to move. Okay, so change legs. So again, hips shomen, shomen square or straight. Okay, front facing, hammy, half facing. Here. And if you find this difficult, okay, and you find your hip not moving, look at your back foot. Okay, this is the key bit of information that I picked up probably 7-8 years too late. But that back foot, if it's turned out this way, you can't engage your hip. It locks your hip out. Okay. So this doesn't work. So turn the foot forwards and you can get a huge amount of distance again with your hips. And as we explained a few weeks ago, possibly even a month or so ago, about the hips being the hammer that delivers our punches, that delivers our kicks, that makes our block strong. It's the absolute focus of what we do. Centre of gravity, everything. Okay, straighten the knees and obis, please. Okay, and standing bow, please. Amrei os. Ayoi. Okay, so first things first, let's recap what we did on Thursday. My apologies. So the stance of Judachi. Okay, so stepping down front stance. So gidan right. Okay, and then a foot length back, a good foot length back, your foot length. Okay, so and you should be able to relax your front knee. It's still 70%. Okay, on that front knee. Okay, and the back leg is still 30%, same as front stance, then kutsudachi. Okay, but now more flexible. So more relaxation in both of these. So we're able to move faster, quicker. Okay, so this is where we're taking the next stage of our kumite. So Ju-Ippon, it's very basic, very direct, very kihon. Ju-Ippon, okay, more freestyle. Okay, but still only one move where the ippon comes. So Ju-Ippon means free one-step kumite, essentially. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Okay, yoi. Okay, and step forward down gidan-burai, ich, and then jirachi. Okay, now when I do kumite, I always step forward with the gidan-burai with the kiai. It's not an intention to threaten my opponent or make them scared, but it's intent to perform well and to make your partner work hard, and for you to put yourself in that mindset, similar to when we do our kata, that we are ready to do karate. And Ju-Ippon Kumite, once done correctly, can become quite fast. It's exciting to watch if done correctly. I think unfortunately too many people try to do things too quickly, and so it looks messy. But I think the way that we've been working with this, certainly the last couple of years with the higher grades and the black belts, our Ju-Ippon Kumite as an association is growing immensely and looks really good at the moment. So this is set 2 we're going to do this evening. After I've done set 1, I'm just going to quickly say hello to a few other people. Good evening, hopefully that's Zach and Sensei Christian. Sensei Sharon, I bet you are tired, bless you. Yes, we are very well, thank you. I think everybody else looks like they're well, which is good. Good evening, Sensei Andy, hope you're feeling better, mate, and okay. Good evening, Pete, hope you're well, mate. Thank you so much for checking in on us. Take it easy, Andy, if your back is still playing up. I am at the moment injury free, which is a first for a while. Okay, so Ray, us, hey boy, and step down, Gidam right, yeah, and then Judachi. Okay, so check this guard. Okay, make sure body is at hammy, half facing. Okay, so here, this is protecting the lower part of the body and solar plexus, so here. Okay, just away from the body, not too far away, not too low, not too high. And the other hand in line with my chin to protect this higher area. And of course we can change these really easy to protect ultimate. So we're doing Gyaku techniques, which we might do at some point. Then you'll understand that this guard is spot on. If it's like this, too much open space. If it's down here, too much open space. If it's up here, too much open space. This, not a lot to hit. I can parry here. This bit may look like it's covered, so I just drop my elbow. And now I can't be kicked in. So you're trying to reduce your size so your opponent can't hit you. Okay, so we're in Judachi position here. Okay, so we start with the 3 attacks. So just for set 1. So Jodan. Okay, look at your opponent. Make sure you're attacking down the Embusun, your performance line. Okay, and Jodan. And then from here, don't bring your hand back. Just push through. And attack Jodan Zuki. And then back. And then Chudan will be again same, so Chudan, os, and back. And Maigeri, os, follow with the arms and back. Now remember we were connecting with our partner here, so we come up together, same as Ju-Ippon Kumite, working together as a unit, okay, as a partnership, I think is the right words. Okay, change legs. Not going to work too much on set 1 because I want to get set 2 this evening, but we'll just do a little bit of it. So set 1, Jodan left side, so Hidari. Okay, so again, look at your guard, make sure your hips are hand-me, put yourself into the correct position. Okay, and Jodan, os, and back. Okay, get your guard back, position back again, Chudan, os. Remember, don't bring this hand back, just push, and back. And then Maigeri. Make sure you're in that line and kick, and back, and yame, rayos, hey boy. Okay, so remember that's just a very simple basic Jodan, Chudan, Maigeri attack for right migi and left side hidari. Okay, tonight we're going to add additional techniques in terms of attack. We're going to do kikomi and mawoshigeri because set 2 has both of those, as well as 5 new blocks. Okay, and counter techniques afterwards. So again, remember our Ju-Ippon Kumite sets, we have 3 the same as we do with our Ju-Ippon sets, and they are a guide. They are a baseline for you to learn to help you with your karate. When it comes to your grading, you can do whatever techniques that you want to do and what work for you and what make you look the best, I guess. So my advice is when we're a younger, lower grade, we use the sets, okay, we learn them religiously because we know they're our go-to techniques. When we're higher grades, we develop beyond those. Okay, so I remember my 3rd dan grading creating 3 new sets. So essentially we had 3 Ju-Ippon sets, okay, within my old organisation, and then we created another 3 for ourselves when we were going for our 3rd dans. And then you get to training for years and years and years, and you just change. You change for the different person attacking you, you develop and evolve. Everything in karate constantly evolving, constantly changing, going round and round and round. Good evening, Sensei Raoul and Belgium. Okay, so back to Judachi position. Okay, so we'll do block 1. So now we're uki, so we're receiving the technique. Okay, so make sure that your guard is correct. Okay, and remember we're taisabaki wise, we're moving 45 degrees, tati shuto. Okay, gyakuzuki and back to kamai. Okay, Sensei Mark, good evening. Good evening. Okay, so from here, don't bring the arm back here. Okay. Don't bring it from underneath the arm either. So you just want to be moving the body, pushing away. So this is covering. Okay, if the person's punch comes towards you, you're still blocking, but your body evasion, haisabaki, okay, is where your brain is at. So if a steam train was coming towards you, not a steam train because they're really old, aren't they? If a bullet train was coming towards you, a Shinkansen at 200 miles an hour, you wouldn't try to block it. You would move out of the way. I don't think it's as easy as that, but that's what I would do. Gus? Okay? I've seen how fast Shinkansens go. So it's important that you move, okay, as much as it is you block. So in my mindset, when the person says, Jodan! Okay, as they move, as I see them move, and I'm looking at all parts of their body for a trigger point, whether it be their feet, whether it be their knees, their shoulders, okay, they take a deep breath. I'm looking for a trigger point for their attack, and I move with them, but I move out of the way, okay? And this is the key thing. This is the mentality of Kumite, okay? Kumite, you're always trying to outwit your opponent. Even when you're working together in a partnership, okay, when you're fighting competitions or in gradings, whether you're taking your gradings, etc., you're trying to outwit your opponent and get your timing so that you are as efficient and effective as possible. Okay, there's nothing worse than someone saying Jodan and you saying us and blocking a punch with your face. It's just not the way to do things. So it's better to move, not worry so much about the block, and worry about your counter punch. So my mentality, I used to fight a lot, okay, was to what am I going to do? Not my opponent. Never worried me what my opponent was going to do. It didn't really bother me. It was what was I going to do. That's how you win competitions, do well at gradings. That sort of mentality I think is important. Positive, not negative thinking, I'm going to get hit. I was like that when I was a younger grade, but not as I moved through the ranks, as it were. Okay, so set one, Jodan. Punch coming in here. 45 degrees. This is Tati Shuto, so Tati is vertical and Shuto here. So here, and Gyakuzuki, and then come back with your partner to Kumite position. Us. Now remember your opponent can stalk, okay? They can, Jodan, okay, and then they attack. So, we don't want them to hold you for 3 hours and move you around the dojo for 20 minutes. We want them to just unsettle you. And this is what I said to you, you have plenty of time to just move. Your block is secondary, think of your counter punch. Think about that more than anything else. So, Jodan, os, hey, and back. And slow speed, Jodan, os, Notice the arm as we counter punch, not full extension. Not full extension. Here, because we snap back. Okay, so we're able to pull our technique. Because ideally, we should be touching our opponent. Yeah. Not that's too hard. Okay, you won't have much of a dojo left after that. Too hard. Control. 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 So hope that, but that comes with time and practice. Okay, juniors we keep further apart for safety reasons, but adults we tend to, when they're at least brown belt level, been training for a couple of years, we start to teach them control. Okay, so os, hey Jodan, os, Tati Shuto, Gyakuzuki, and come back, come on, change legs. Okay, so opposite side now. So left leg is sliding, blocking Tati Shuto, Gyakuzuki, and back to Kumai. Once more. Jodan, os, and back to Kumai position here. Okay, change legs. And Chudan. So Chudan punch coming in. Okay, so your attacker gets their distance. They're ready to attack you. They're moving you. They're stalking you. It's difficult to stay still, and sometimes we lean back and we lose our footing, and we get annoyed and we step up and they hit us. Important then to relax. Relax your stance. They move, you move with them. They move, you move with them. Okay? Difficult for me tonight, I'm sticking to the floor. It's like I've got suckers on the bottom of my feet. But you move with your opponent, okay? Working together. But as they attack, you move. Okay, and it's that, you have to see that coming. Too late if they're here to block. You need to make sure that you look at the indicators in their body. Their body language will tell you something of what they're doing, unless they're really, really good. Okay, so Chudan, leave the arm where it is. The punch is coming in here, Soto Ryuki block, but not here, not Kihon. So from here, just twisting, Gyakuzuki. So the guard, the arm, stays where it is. The guard and the arm stays where it is. Here, I'm getting feedback, so I apologise. I hope this is not going to affect your... I hope that's okay. So from here, this arm, make sure you're hand me again. The block is already there. In fact, actually, if somebody attacks me Chudan now, they're probably going to hit the base of my elbow, because I'm just going to do that. But in my head, move the body around, Gyakuzuki, and back to Kumai. So Chudan punch coming in, Soto Ryuki, Gyakuzuki, and change legs. So this is just a recap from last Thursday's lesson. So if you feel like I'm rushing, please go back and look at Thursday's lesson. I've uploaded it to Facebook Live and YouTube. Obviously it's not live at that point. Okay, so again here, pay attention to this arm, not Soto Ryuki here. So just from here, relax, blocking. So again, relax your body, relax your shoulders, relax your mind, and you will move quicker. Tense up, you'll get kicked. And I was good proof of this when I was younger. Okay, I used to get kicked around the dojo by one particular person who had great pleasure in doing it. Okay, he thought it was hilarious that he was twice my age and twice as more capable of getting me than I was blocking. And it was all my mindset. And my sensei said, you're thinking of blocking, you need to think of moving. As soon as I thought of moving and then get caught again, I got the upper hand. So that's more here. Blocking is secondary. Taisabaki is the important thing. So once more, relax the body here, blocking, and back. Okay, change legs. So now we move to kick maigeris. Kick is coming in here. Okay, so it's a shonen kick, so it's a front kick that comes straight through. Okay, now if you've ever been kicked by a maigeri at full speed, depends where you're kicked. I've had one here that lifted me off my feet and I didn't get much off the floor, if I'm honest, for a little while. I've had one here, okay, which completely winded me and kicked me out of an area, so literally kicked out of the tatami. And I've had one here which broke my sternum, okay, and fractured my sternum, which is your breastbone. So I can tell you now, a good maigeri is a strong, powerful kick, and I think that's the fear. And where I used to get caught was people rooted themselves. They went maigeri and they went us, and they tense. And what you need to do is maigeri us, and you just move gidambarai, Gyakuzuki. So it's not the mindset of must block, must block, must block, must block, must block, and you go all tight and tense and just not very good. You'll understand when it happens to you and you dead block a maigeri with your arm and you get great bruises, which is old school way. Better just Gyakuzuki. So from here, again, make sure body in correct position, hanmi, half facing. So this gives your opponent a great big target. Yeah, and in my case, just a little bit bigger than normal, but it's a target, okay? Narrow your target down, give them less options, keep your elbow here so they're not going to try to kick you here, have your guard here, they're not going to kick, they're not going to try Jodan kick because your guard is in the correct place. Give them options, they will exploit them, I would expect, as a good karateka attacking, a tora, yeah? So cut down those options, drop the arm where it is, gidambarai, Gyakuzuki. So again, from here, kick is coming down, centre line here. Yeah, this is their embusen. I have to say, I've worked out that I am often what I think is central to the camera, but actually I need to be offline to the camera. It's something to do with the three lenses that I've got. So I try to get more in the middle for you. Hope I'm getting better at it. I've been doing it a few months now. So from here, see that front guard? Not here, not gidambarai here. It's too slow. Too slow and not going to be good. So from here, just gidambarai. Kick comes in, gidambarai. Okay, change legs. Change legs. So again, left side, so hidari. Remember, hidari means the attack, not the defence. So the attack is coming in. It's a left-handed punch. Excuse me, brain's going. Okay, and or left-handed kick in this case. You watch that kick coming in. You gidambarai again. Gyakuzuki. So this hand Gidambarai, yeah. If you want to pull this hand back to get more higate with your technique, it's okay, as long as you have that time. So you can leave the hand where it is and do it from that basic position there, or if you want to, you have time, yeah. And I like to bring it back. I like to get the length of my punch correct. So that's set one. So set one, Jodan right side, Chudan right side, Maigeri right side. And left side, Jodan 1, Chudan 2, Maigeri 3, and Yamei. Okay, good. So that's set one recap done. Hopefully you've been practicing that since last Thursday, and if I'm honest, that's all you need. Yeah, a Jodan, Chudan, Maigeri attack. I'll show you a Kokomi and Moshigeri in a second, okay, for set 2. But that's really all you're going to need for Ju-Ippon Kumite, is those 3 blocks. But the idea is that you evolve, okay, and you use more complicated, more challenging techniques for you to do as you get better at this. And you can do some really unusual blocks. We've tried to put some in our basic syllabus to make things interesting, and I think you're going to see that in a second with set 2. As I said before, the black belts developed this, and I gave them the task of creating sets that were not for them, which is really difficult when you're a black belt. I said, imagine you're a brown belt or a white belt and you're learning this. Don't make it too complicated, make it interesting but effective, and they did a great job. Okay, they did a really, really good job. Very rare that I, hand over the whole experience to somebody else and trust their judgment. But I did exactly the right thing on that case, because they did a really, really good job. And these make you think. Okay, so we're going to do set 2 now, set 2. So, number 1. Okay, so I'll do this correctly. And step forward, Gidambarai, and then Kamai, Judachi. So again, the attack is the same. We're not going to go through the Jodan, Chudan, Maigeri attacks again. I will show you how to do Kokomi and Moshigeri shortly, okay, when we get to them. But at the moment, we'll just focus on the blocks for set 2. Okay, so check your guard, okay. Make sure that you're half facing, hand me, okay, so here. And imagine the front punch coming in here, Jodan Zuki, okay, and here. That's it, that's the block. Okay, and it really doesn't need to be any more than that. And in fact, actually, it's just a little bit of kime, and you just deflect the punch here. Okay, so Nagashi, flowing, yeah, you could say pushing as well, so flowing, pushing, okay, so from here, and you step in, and as you do that, you do an Urazuki. So Urazuki is an uppercut punch here. Okay, so this comes from boxing. Yeah, it's probably boxing is probably the best thing that I would say. So here. Okay, so this is Tei, hand, yeah, hand Nagashi, Tei again Nagashi, here. That's your block. This is your punch, and you combine the two together. Ayuch, Sensei Andy will correct me if I'm wrong, but my brain's been fried today at work. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay, so this hand here is just blocking. So punch coming in here. Okay, move the front forward, and your timing would be such that as you block your opponent's fist, you've already made contact with this, and then you will pull away, okay, or move away from them. As I said before, I can't show you that because I don't have a partner. I only have a virtual partner in yourselves, and for me, you are my camera. And I can't push my camera because it's going to go flying. So it's important then that once you've done this technique, you would go in, make contact, and then you move away from your opponent. Yeah, so you can't be counter-punched. Then you both come back to my Judachi position. Okay. So Kamai just means position. Judachi means fighting stance. Okay. So if people say step down Kamai, it just means step down position. So that could be Gidambarai, but generally we mean Judachi. So I just suddenly thought of that. High grades know what I'm talking about. So hips at hand me here, punch coming in here. Person says Jodan us here. Here. So as this hand opens, you move in. Okay, now that seems like a stupid thing to do because we always say step back on blocks, but actually we're now taisabaki, remember that body movement. Okay, the punch is coming here, I just need to deflect it. Punch is no longer here, the punch is here. Okay, then I cut down the space, get to my opponent either here, ribs or front, okay, and then I move away. And it's a super effective technique, and it's one I really enjoy doing, and my instructors will tell you that, because I like tagging people with this one. So when you do this, just a little tap makes people feel alive, I always think, okay, especially if they've had their dinner. So from here, this position here, and then to here, okay, and then come back into Judachi position. Okay, so changing stance, so Hidari left side. Okay, and you'll notice that I switch between the two constantly, and that's because I believe in balance. Okay, I believe in this balance of karate. I think, unfortunately, there's too much emphasis on the right side for me, being left-handed. So my natural side is always going to be my natural side, which is the left side, and I constantly practice my bad side. So my balance, I think, is quite good. I think I'm quite privileged to be left-handed. It's one of the few things in the world that it is a good thing for, and that's Shotokan karate. So again, similar position here, check where your guard is, because if your guard's here and the punch is coming here, this is no good for you, because you have to move your hand up. Now if you have a quick puncher, you won't block it, okay, or you will with your chin. So this is no good. So make sure your guards are correct, make sure your body is not square, showman hips, okay, hammy hips. Guard, check, relax, nagashi, nagashi. That's all we're doing. Chin in line, and nagashi. Protection, that's all you need. And you're just coming off line. Yeah, I didn't mention that, I think, on the right side. You just come slightly off the line. So you're talking a couple of inches, really. So you don't need, you can go straight forward, that's absolutely fine. But I like to come ever so slightly off line, and then come back to Judachi here, and then come back to Kamae position here for your partner. Okay. So once more, relax everybody, relax everything, not everybody, relax everything, okay, and Arazuki, uppercut punch. It's super powerful, it's very, very strong, if let go, very, very powerful. People don't get up from this one, particularly if it goes in under the diaphragm, into the gut as I call it. It's a really, really strong, powerful technique. It's like a maigeri hitting you, it's one of the most powerful techniques there is. So Nagashi, Arazuki, and then come back to Kamae. Okay, so here, and then back. And again, and back. If you hear any laughing, there isn't a ghost in the house, it's my 16-year-old daughter. She's obviously FaceTiming because that's the only time she laughs. So, that's not true. So from here, so Tei Nagashi, so hands, sweeping hand, okay, Arazuki, uppercut punch. Okay, that's the best way that I can explain those two to you. Sensei Andy will find a better way, I'm sure of it, because he is the oracle. Okay, so that's set 2 Jodan. Now set 2 Chudan is the one that I needed convincing around, because I have never done this before myself, not from a Ju-Ippon's perspective, but the instructors were insistent that this was good because it was 2 different techniques, or one different technique done in a different way with another technique that made it a bit different. So I agree, it's cool. So from here, again, using that mindset of taisabaki rather than worrying about going forwards and backwards. Okay, so check your guard, again, check your position, check your kamae. Okay, and from this position here, the punch is coming in uchi-uki. Now, if we're going to use uchi-uki, if we go this way, quite often you're going to get caught. Okay, uchi-uki for a Chudan punch, for some reason, when you bring it around, you get caught here in the arm. So you either get hit or you miss the punch completely. However, Gyaku, which is the opposite side, where we engage the hip, so we put the hip into shoman, okay, is much easier, because then you're knocking the punch away, and actually the arm is here, so you're pushing it away, so it can't hit you again, which is a great position to be in. So you move the front leg sort of 45 degrees, okay, uchi-uki gyaku, uchi-uki gyaku. Uchiuki Gyaku. So you notice I don't need to come underneath my arm, so I just leave the arm where it is. Uchiuki Gyaku. Punch is here. Then I come in with an elbow. Here, into this part of the body, coming down low, depending upon the height of my opponent, or back of the head. And then come back Kamai. So the whole technique done slowly. Gyaku Uchiuki, Yoko Impyuchi. Okay, Yoko Impyuchi, Chudan or Jodan, depending upon your opponent. Now I'm 6'1", so I tend to do this with most people. I'd say Jodan. For me, I'm the right height. Against Jonathan, I would be probably Chudan, because he's got a good another 3, 4, 5 inches taller than me, probably at least 6 actually, thinking about it. So you need to look at your opponent, okay, and you should be doing that all the time. Every time we partner up with somebody else is another challenge, okay? We look at their size. Do they attack short or long? Now I use this concept in my dojos a lot. For me it makes perfect sense. I think explaining it to people, they immediately think that I'm talking about shorter people and taller people. And that's not true. So you can have someone who's really tall attack short, and you have someone who's really not tall attack very long. Okay, now I attack long, and quite a few of my instructors attack long, but a couple of them attack very short. There isn't a better way. I'm not suggesting that one is better than the other. But if I give you an example, it's not very easy to do in the dojo here because I don't have a lot of room. So you have to forgive me for this. But attacking short, the extension of the arm is not long. Okay? Attacking long, I've nearly gone through the window. Okay? So I'm trying to fit it into frame for you. So the first one, you're seeing what I mean in terms of attacking short. That's still a strong punch, but attacking long, you're going through your target every time. If you attack long, you have to have good control, because if people don't move, you will hurt them if you don't have that control. So, but that concept I use in the dojo, I think works really, really well. And first thing I do, whenever I go, wherever I train, or whoever I train with, I assess, particularly when we're doing Kumite, is the person attacking me short or are they attacking long? If they're attacking long, I have to think more Tai Sabaki, body movement, yeah, because they're going to really come at you. If they attack short, I have more time to think and focus on something else, like my counter attack. Okay, so that's really, really important. So attacking the long, this punch here, or this block, sorry, is lovely. Okay, then from here come in, Chudan, and then back. Uchiuki, Jodan, and back. Okay, change legs. So again, check everything in your head. Check everything in your head, you know, your stance and everything. You should start to find a natural position. Okay, your shizentai, your natural sort of the way you are, can be changed, but we tend to revert to type when we're put under pressure. So Kumite is a pressure point in karate, as is performing kata in front of 3,000 people. But we revert to type. So whatever type you are, you can change it, because I have. Okay, and my type was very much leaning forwards, and I don't lean anywhere near like I used to. I think there's an element of it, but much less so. But you have to continually train yourself to change. So they say a leopard can't change its spots. Shotokan karateka can change, but there has to be a will and a way and a want to do that. I have worked with people before for 15, 20 years who can't change. They can't change. They say they're making change, but there is no change. So you have to be mindful of this. So opposite side. So opposite side. We're in the hanmi position here. Gyaku again. Gyaku. Come round. And then come back with your partner here. Gyaku. Come round. And back. I'm mindful that I might be going out of camera shot. I think I'm probably too close to the camera. So again, from here, Gyaku, come round, So you're stepping in. Think of a half moon shape and you're about there. Because what would be in the way here is your opponent attacks you, their Chudan punch is coming here, and their front foot is here. So you come around the front foot here. This is perfect then for a follow-up Ashiburai, sweep, takedown, and finish off. And that's really where the black belt's mindset was. Yeah, they were thinking of higher grades here and thinking if we were doing our Ju-Ippon, which is the next level up, that our next technique would be a sweep and a takedown. So You know, it's a really, really interesting technique for that reason. So again, here, come round the leg, and then come back. Uchuki, come round, and come back to Kumai. And chain stance. Yeah. So just to recap then, set 2 Jodan. So Jodan, and Chudan, do that one again. Chudan, Gyaku. Gyaku, don't do normal Uchuki because that was wrong. So here, Gyaku, and come around, and back. Change sides. So again, Jodan, hips are hammy, I see. So you can really push this arm right out of the way, or you can just do very subtle, but not 1, 2. Together. Gyaku, come round, and here. Okay, and yeah, mate. So Jodan, Chudan, set 2. Okay, so move on and continue, and now Maigeri. So the Maigeri kick again is coming down the centre. Sensei Andy will tell you this is one of my absolute favourites. Gyaku Gidamburai, similar to the Gyaku Uchuki, you're using your hip. Okay, I feel that when we use our hip with these blocks, on kicks particularly, we more than double our power. I'm probably, you know, in my head 3 times our power. Because this action here, and I'm using my whole body to show you, but you wouldn't, you just use your hip. It just engages everything. And when you start to connect your bones, like Sensei Akita often tells us, and not just the muscles, this makes you like concrete. Okay, so this particular technique I think works very, very well, and it sets us up beautifully for the next 2 techniques after, because there's a double attack on this one. Okay, so from the Hanmi Judachi position, the arm stays where it is here, and you just Gyaku Gidamburai. So you connect it, this stays low, and it's this arm here and the hip. Can you see the connection? Yeah, the timing is together. It's really powerful. And as I say, if you connect properly, you can stop anyone's kick. Doesn't matter how big they are, doesn't matter how fast they are. Whether they kick straight at you, if they kick offline, okay, trying to catch you out, you just dead block, okay, you will be strong, because your hip will make this stronger. Normal Gidamburai, sometimes kicks can go through blocks, okay, but when you're going against the hip like this, it's super strong. I hope that comes across okay. If that's, I guess you're taking my word for that, because I can't demonstrate it with anybody. Normally I'd drag someone out there and show them. So from set 2 position here, this is a Gyaku Gidamburai, because it's opposite side, yeah, Gyaku Gidamburai. So kick is coming in here, yeah, Gyaku Gidamburai, Kizamazuki jab punch, yeah, so here to the chin, and in the Gyakuzuki downstairs here. Okay. And the reason for the double punch is if they think they can get their arm up and guard with a, say, an Agyuki type technique, okay, let them bring their arm up, because then they can't do anything, because their leg has already gone, their other arm is on the far side, so is out of action, okay, because you've covered that off for your Gidamburai as well. You have this perfect opportunity for the second punch, which is here. So you almost want them to put their arm up. Or if you're like me, you don't, and you just want to hit them on the chin with the first punch. Because that's what I do, okay? So from here, just together, almost. And then Gyakuzuki to finish. So breaking it down, Gyaku Gidamburai, Kizamazuki, Gyakuzuki. Okay? Gyaku Gidamburai here, Kizamazuki, Gyakuzuki. Here, Kizamazuki, Gyakuzuki. Here, and I like to bring the hands to the hip, stick that on the chin, yeah, just drop your elbow so you can connect to the chin, okay, with control. So in other words, you're not locking out, so just drop the elbow here, okay, relax this hip, drive through Kumai position. Okay, so changing legs. Gyaku, hidari. Okay, so from here, Gidanbarai, Kizamazuki Gyakuzuki. Check the left arm, check the position. 1, 2. Taisabaki, block, 1, 2. Taisabaki, 1, 2. And you can connect this lovely. Okay, you can get to a point where you just moved and pushed your front fist out. Now there's not a lot of distance there to make that super effective. So again, from a personal perspective, once you've moved, you have time. So bring the hand back. Bring the hand back, and you get more power, you get more feeling. Okay, don't lock it out. Just drop the shoulder, drop the elbow. Yeah, just a nice little tap on the chin. It wakes people up. So here, 1, 2. And you come back, Kumai. Gidanbarai Kizami Gyakuzuki. Yeah. Once more. Yeah. And this position. Ayame. And ready. Okay, so set 1 done Thursday, and a little bit done tonight. Set 2, Jodan, Shudan, Maigeri completed. We move on to Kikomi in a second, then finally Mawashi-geri. Okay. I'm probably not going to pay too much attention on the attacks this evening. Probably spend more time on the blocks themselves, because I think that's the more complicated element, but I will show you the attacks shortly. So again, set 2, Jodan, Tainagashi, so Tainagashi here, Aruzuki, and back. Okay, second technique, Gyaku Uchuki, Yoko Impyuchi Chudan or Jodan. Iya! Maigeri, Gyaku Maigeri Kizami Gyakuzuki. Ayame. Opposite side, Judachi stance. Tainagashi Aruzuki. Gyaku Uchuki, Yoko Impyuchi. I made that into more Morshi. It's not a Morshi, it's a Yoko. Gyaku Gidanbarai, Kizamazuki Gyakuzuki. Okay. So we have 2 new attacks. Okay, moving on. We have a Kikomi attack and a Morshigeri attack. As I said, I'm not going to labour on these too much. But the Kikomi attack will come one of 2 ways. The kick will be the same. It will be the way the person lands in terms of their stance, I think, which makes it more complicated. So when we're kicking Kikomi-geri, okay, we're coming through like a normal Maigeri. Okay, and then we're pushing the hip. So this is quite a slow kick. There are people that do the Kikomi very fast, but this is a kick where you have time. That said, it's also super powerful, so therefore you have to have your wits about you when receiving Kikomi, okay, and ensuring that you're out of the way, because Kikomis will go through blocks. That's really important to understand, that it's a very strong kick because you're using your full hip. Okay, you're using the full force of it, and you can just go through people's blocks. Arms are much smaller than legs, and I think it's just a case of gravity. So important then to make sure that when you're attacking, you kick through here and push the heel. Okay. Now you might land in side stance as an attacker. You might land in Kumai. You might land anywhere. So from a defender's perspective, it's not your problem. Yeah, you just need to get out of the way of that kick, and then you finish them off. Thus, okay. Attackers, you just need to go for a target. Your mindset shouldn't be on really how you land your feet, I don't think. I think your attack should be more okay, and whether you're in this stance or this stance or this stance is immaterial, because you've done your bit. You've done your bit. Front stance, side stance, back stance doesn't make any difference. You've done your bit. You've done your bit. Okay, so That's Kikomi attack, so we need to get out of the way of this. We need to get out of the way of this, or we need to use a strong block. Okay, we need to use a strong block. So, Haiwanuki. Haiwanuki is the outer arm, top of the arm. Okay, I would say it's more the top of the arm. So I'd say Neiwan is inner arm, Haiwan is upper arm, and Geiwan outer arm. So that's the way that I would explain those. So Geiwan we tend to use a Soto Ryuki, the outside of the arm. Uchiuki maybe more Neiwan, and Haiwan the top or upper arm. Okay, so this part of the forearm, that's the bit that we're blocking with, super strong, lots and lots of tightly fibred muscle. Okay, and when you clench your fists, they lock together, creating like if you think of a knight's, medieval knight. Okay, they used to wear chain. I was going to say chain link fencing. That's completely the wrong thing. But chainmail. Is that right? I think so. It's not the same as email, but chainmail. Okay, and chainmail would be very, very kind of loose to be able to have movement, the same as your arm is here. However, when a sword went into the chainmail, it locked together. Okay, and stopping swords from going through. That was the intention of it. It didn't work, did it? I mean, I've seen movies. I wasn't there, but you know. So that's the sort of thing we're looking at. These muscle fibres here, they're very, very powerful. We've got our two bones here. We've got our radius and our ulna. Okay, and together, connecting all of that, along with our humerus here, okay, and our shoulders here, it can be really powerful, even against a strong Kikomi. So what we're going to do is, from a Kumai position, Judachi, we're just going to bring the arm around. Chain link armour. Thanks, Andy. Is it not chainmail then, or have I just made that up? Must watch Game of Thrones again. We'll find out. So here, high one. And what we're going to do is we're not going to take the foot full on, okay, because I think taking Kikomi on with a block is potentially dangerous. So we're using Taisabaki again, as we said before with all of this Ju-Ippon Kumite, and we're going to just direct the foot, direct the Kikomi. So the kick comes here, and it's going to bounce off here. I want to make contact with around about the heel, the heel of the foot. So my timing needs to be good. My timing's no good behind the back of the leg, or God help us, the thigh, because that means all the leg's gone through you. So just as the foot comes, here. And then just a simple Gakuzuki, because that's all you need. And then you would sweep them, yeah, and finish them off. I mean, that's the way my mindset works. So it's important then to understand, okay, from here. This would be really simple, but the black belts didn't like that. So what we did, or what they did next, Haiwanuki, Haito. Okay, so Haito. So Haito, or Haito as some people pronounce it, Haito, ridge hand. So here. So the thumb disappears completely, so you do need to tuck your thumb in, and you're using your second metacarpal, okay, which is this sort of bone here. The knuckle part of that, that's the bit that you're striking with. Now, Shotokan karate, this is a proper technique that we use. There's a Korean martial art called Tang Soo Do, and they use Haito or Haito to break concrete slabs. I mean, taller than me. So it's an extremely powerful technique, and what you do is you connect your bones all together to make it super powerful. So from here, kicks coming in here, Haiwanuki, so we just bring the back leg across. Not into any stance, we're still in Judachi, so we're not into Kakutsudachi or anything like that. So from here, Haiwanuki, yeah, Haito. And your Haito will be attacking there, the temple. Sensei Andy's telling me more about chainmail. Chainmail is something that it says male. Okay, I have got it wrong then, basically. Thanks, mate. So, chain link armour, that's what I was talking about earlier. So here, yeah, yeah. So slow it down. Haiwanuki, yeah. Come in, come back, Judachi. Change legs. Dylan's proving Sensei Andy wrong. I love it when we've got a super intelligent young man in the dojo. Good evening, Sensei George from Greece. Love that. Let's not get an argument over chainmail or chain link armour, it really isn't worth it. Okay, so from this position here, don't tense the shoulders, just drop the arm. Haiwanoki, Haito. And you can see this is powerful because one, I'm engaging my hip. Okay, so I'm rotating my hip. It's no different to throwing a javelin. Think of that mindset. Okay, throwing a javelin and you'll be okay with this. So this is left side now, Hidari. Don't bring the arm back, so just move the body and use gravity. So just steering the leg away. Here, Hia! Haito, and back to Kumai position. Yeah. So again, here, blocking, Ia! And back. Okay, change legs. So again, Maigeri, Gyaku, Kikomi, same arm, same leg. Yeah, so not Gyaku, not Gyaku. So here, Haito, 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 tomato, tomato. Yeah, so I hope that's okay. So remember the kick is going to be coming through the dead centre here. So the knee comes up, pushing here. Okay, the person will come back Judachi or land in any stance they want to, so it doesn't make any difference. Depends how you block them, if I'm honest. Then you block. Haiwanoki, yeah! Heitouchi, Heitouchi. Okay, Amri, os. So, quick recap. Actually, no, let's do more shigeri first, then we'll do a recap of the whole set. Okay, so this is set 2 of 3 that we've got as that baseline for you. So, Jodan, Chudan, Maigeri, Kikomi, and then finally more shigeri. Okay, so, us, Sensei Bly, us. Thank you for checking in on us. So, more shigeri technique. Okay, more shigeri is a very fast kick. It used to be my favourite kick when I was a young man. And done with the ball of the foot, so koshi, you want a nice one that comes around the ear. So, from Judachi position here, when we're kicking, whether it be Chudan or Jodan, so come around, more shigeri here. Okay, remember your Jodan, remember where your Jodan is. Mine used to be there when I was in my early 20s. My Jodan's here actually, because now I'm an intelligent man, and I know that is my Jodan. So it's not as high as we think. Okay, so it's not as high as we think it is. So don't overstretch, don't overcommit to techniques. Do strong techniques. So I've said to most of my dan grades, you're better to do a nice shigeri that's a good chudan, but if it makes contact it's going to have a good strike and a good technique, than do something that looks almost like a maigeri that's just been swung in the air. So think about your technique. Okay, it's better to start super low, okay, and get a good technique, I think, than overstretch and bastardize, that's a horrible word, but make something up. Yeah, so better to go low. So the roundhouse kick, so if I think of my attacker position here, it's coming here. Yeah, if it's Jodan, if it's not coming there, it's coming here. Okay, so again, think about where you are in terms of your body. Hand me, half facing. Okay, so here. Make sure that again your guard is correct. So this is Chudan. Okay, this is protecting Jodan. And thinking of the kick coming round, because it's a roundhouse kick, just again, taisabaki. Here, just uchiuki, 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 uchiuki. Don't lean down. But more shigeri here. Uchiuki, hey, Yakuzuki, come back, Kumai. Very simple block, but very effective. Now we've done these Ju-Ippon sets, okay, to enable you to start to learn Ju-Ippon in a semi-rigid way, because essentially that's what it is, semi-rigid karate, kumite, sorry, even. So we're trying to help you build up a toolkit of technique that you can use at any point. So whether it be in the dojo, the gradings, competitions, etc., etc. Beyond that, though, we want you to develop your own broader toolkit. So make it bigger, make it better. Not always. Can you better this technique from Oshigeri? Yeah. I would say Nagashi is a really good, particularly Gakugi Nagashi is very effective for Oshigeri. And I used to use that mostly to save my head. So we're going to do Uchuki, Hyakuzuki. So just check this. If your hips are at Shoman, okay, so front facing, your whole body is facing. Shorten or narrow your guard, narrow your body, give them less opportunity, less technique. Your guard is up here, this says hello. Yeah, squeeze. Sensei Kita talks about shime, okay? Squeezing, contraction. Okay, we don't mean by that tense, okay? We just mean just close your body down. I used to fight like this when I was young, yeah, which is why I'm so ugly. So really, really important that you don't fight like that. You use your guard to protect yourself, that's what it's there for. You will always get people that showboat. I cannot stand people in the dojo. I think it's very, very poor etiquette where they fight like this. And it's just like, come on then. No. Have your guard where it should be. That way it will always serve you well. So, finally then, Washigeri kick coming here, or Chiyoki Gyakuzuki. If it's a Chudan Washigeri coming here, or Chiyoki Gyakuzuki. Remember, it's not Ochiyoki. It's not Ochiyoki. Yeah, it's not Ochiyoki. It's not Kihon. Okay, so more Taisabaki. So move in first, bring the arm round. And counter. Come on, change legs. This is more my natural side, so I'm left-handed, obviously. So for me, this is better, but for you, maybe not. So again, check all your points. Yeah, check your stance, check your handy position, check your guard, check your opponent. What are they doing? What are they telling you? If I had an opponent here with me now, there's all sorts of things I'd be telling you about my opponent, what I'd seen, little things that they give away in terms of when they're attacking and when they're about to attack. You can learn so much from the person in front of you before they've even taken a breath. Okay? And I think that's a really, really important thing that we can't do at the moment in our own dojos. So from here again, so the kick is coming round this side. Remember, it's a left-footed kick, Hidari Dashi. Here, Ochiyoki, Gyakuzuki. Come back to Kumai position. Okay, so here, Ochiyoki, yeah! And this punch, Chudan, is what we prefer you to do. But again, higher grades, you could do Jodan. So, Ochiyoki. Better Chudan, I think. So from here, blocking, yeah! Leave the arm where it is. Just move. Yeah! Guard, move. Yeah, you might need to bring it higher. Okay. Again, a good washigeri, and one that's not being pulled. You know, it's a big limb to throw around. So be mindful of that. Okay. Taisabaki just takes away that element of fear, I think, from being kicked in the head. Now, I kicked someone in the head pretty hard. And I've seen what that can do, and I've been kicked in the head very hard, and I've seen what that can do. So I think there is always an element of fear with legs, okay, but Ju-Ippon Kumite, if you think the golden rule of Taisabaki, body movement, you won't go far wrong. So I'm just going to recap set 2, because I'm conscious of time, that we're only usually here for an hour, and I hope you've been training with me and having a go at these. So we do set 2, right and left side, Jodan through to more Washigeri. I'm not going to do the attacks, I'm just going to do the defences, okay, so that we are learning those this evening. And we'll probably focus more on set 3 on Thursday, and maybe the attacks as well, okay? Because I know I've only just touched on Kikomi in particular and Washigeri, although we did those a few weeks ago. We did those as attacks a few weeks ago, so I'm more conscious of the fact that it's more about learning the defence than it is the attack. That contradicts what I said a few weeks ago, because you've got to pay attention to your attacks, but I hope you understand I'm doing this over 3 lessons. Okay, so right side, so Migi. Okay, so first attack coming through Jodan. Okay, set 2, Jodan, os, and back slowly. Jodan, os, Aruzuki. Tei Nagashi, here, Aruzuki, and 8 Kamei. Okay, Chudan. So, technique coming in centre point here, Gyaku Uchuki, here, Yokai, and then back. Chudan, os, okay, the Maigeri coming down centre line, slow speed, Maigeri, os, Gyaku Geramrai Kizami Gyakuzuki. Maigeri, os, iya! Kikomi, os, Haiwanuki Haito. Haito, I say Haito. Haiwanuki, iya! Haitochi, reach hand strike. Moshigeri, os, Ochuki, Chudan, iya! Gyakuzuki. Moshigeri, Jodan this time, os, iya! The good thing about that, sorry son, excuse me, dog. In. Sit. Good girl. Right, now she's going. She knows I'm about to. Hello, waggle bottom. Hello, you a good girl. Hello, beautiful girl. You see mummy? Where is she? If you haven't joined my dojo before, then Holly makes an appearance pretty much every lesson. Apologies. Well, no, not apologies. Everyone loves her. She gets more love hearts than I do. So, set 2, right side all the way through there. Us. Okay. So, changing legs. Hidari then to left side. Okay. So, make sure everything is correct in terms of Jodan, nice and slow. Jodan, us, Arazuki. Move in and come back. Jodan, us, iya! And back. At Chudan. Chudan punch coming in. Gyaku. Come around. Yoko Empuchi. And back to Kumai. Chudan. Iya! And back. Maigeri, remember Gyaku. So Maigeri Gyaku, slow speed. Let the arm come down, punch the face. Iya! So Kazamazuki Gyakuzuki. Maigeri, os. Iya! Okay, and then Kikomi. Haiwanuki here, Haito. Haiwanuki, iya! Hey, Moshigeri coming around here. Moshigeri Chudan, Wochuki, iya! Jodan or Chudan Gyakuzuki. Moshigeri Jodan, os, iya! And back. And Ame, os. Anyway, okay. Anyway, relax. So I think, as I said on Thursday last week, I've always felt that Ju-Ippon Kumite is part of the dark arts. There's always a link to Harry Potter or Game of Thrones or something in my dojos. And the reason I say that is that I was pretty much born to do Kumite. So as a red belt, I was fighting and challenging for competitions really quite simply against black belts because I was good at fighting, naturally good at it. I hadn't really been taught that skill, for some reason it was just there. When it came to Ju-Ippon though, I really struggled. Kihon-Ippon I got straight away, basic Kihon techniques, attack strong, defend strong. But Ju-Ippon, I wasn't bouncing around, I wasn't moving my body around like I was in Ju-Kumite, and I wasn't rigid, as in Kihon-Ippon Kumite. And so I felt it quite challenging to understand where I was moving my body. And it was basically that lack of understanding of this whole thing, the brain, the physical self, connecting those things together, the muscles, the bones, the tendons, the ligaments, the nerves, everything connecting just didn't work. And I think, talking to my downgrades and stuff, that they think the same. Yeah, but as time goes by, you start to learn more about yourself. The more you do karate, particularly Shotokan, I think, and you learn about your physiology and the more mental self, the more inner self, as I'd call it, and you learn how to connect those things. And that ultimately will improve, over time. So if you find this difficult, please don't worry. As soon as we're back in the dojos, well, I hope we'll be soon, then we can work on this, I promise you. On that note, I've only had one dojo get back to me, and unfortunately, because all 4 of our local dojos to Asahi, I'm pretty sure John and Ian's are the same, we use schools, and schools, unfortunately, I'm not so sure if we're going to open before the summer holidays. One of them's gone back to the trustees to ask. As soon as I know more, I will let you know. The Sandy Sports Centre haven't been able to get back to me yet because they're inundated, as you can imagine, but also doing their own preparations for reopening. But again, remember, our hall that we use there is in the school. So we're desperately trying to get somewhere. I'm going to look at possibly a community centre because obviously they're not linked to schools. So if anyone knows of a good community centre that maybe enable us to retrain over the summer holidays, then I'd be really appreciative if you could let me know. If you have any contact details, that would be superb. So at the moment, I'm still trying to get us back in our dojos so we can continue after the 25th of July or come back to some normality. But I'll be honest, I just don't know at this moment in time. So we'll continue online twice a week, every Tuesday, every Thursday, 7 PM, and I'll continue putting stuff on YouTube and things like that. There's some really good stuff out there at the moment that I'm enjoying watching and training with other people from all over the world. Karate at Home on Facebook Live, they do some really good sessions with different senseis from all over the world, and some of those have been really interesting. It's a great way of meeting people. As you know, the reason we joined Sky was so that we're able to meet people, and I've been fortunate enough with some of the instructors to travel around the world, and that's just a fantastic thing to share our love and meet new people. Always a pleasure. Okay, we'll finish with the Ju-Ippon and then we'll finish the lesson because Holly-san is going crazy. I did say. Ju-Ippon Hitotsu Jinkan Koukensei ni Soremotu koto. Hitotsu Makato no michi o mouru koto. Hitotsu Doryoku no seishin yashinau koto. Hitotsu Radio Monju o koto. Hitotsu Keki no yo imashimuru koto. Shall we rate? Thank you very much. That's probably the craziest Ju-Ippon I've ever done. Thanks so much for joining us in the dojo. Look forward to seeing you all on Thursday. Take care, be good, be nice to everybody, and I'll see you soon. Oisuru sa arigatou gozaimasu. See you soon. Goodbye.